It was a cold evening, and the streets were quieter than usual. The world felt heavy. My life felt like it had lost its purpose, empty, grey, and quiet. I had lost my job, drifted apart from friends, and found myself drowning in the silence of my small apartment. As I walked home that night, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. A small bundle curled up near a dumpster, shivering. At first, I thought it was just a pile of rags, but then it moved. It was a dog skinny, dirty, and clearly scared. I hesitated. What could I do? I wasn't in a good place myself. Taking on the responsibility of a stray felt like the last thing I could handle. But then our eyes met. It wasn't just a look, it was a plea, a silent cry for help. Something in me stirred. "Come on, little one," I said softly. I crouched down, extending my hands slowly. The dog flinched but didn't run. I noticed its ribs poking through its thin coat and a wound on its paw. My heart broke a little. I reached into my pocket, pulling out the sandwich I had been saving for dinner. I unwrapped it and placed it on the ground. The dog sniffed it cautiously, then devoured it in seconds. That should have been the end of it. I could have walked away, but I didn't. Instead, I found myself picking the dog up carefully. It didn't resist, just rested its head against my arm, as if surrendering to whatever came next. For the first time in months, I felt needed. When we got home, I gave it some water and cleaned its wound with whatever I could find in my bathroom cabinet. The dog winced, but didn't pull away. It trusted me. I wrapped it in an old towel and made a little bed for it on the floor. That night, as I lay in my own bed, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. A sense of connection. Over the next few days, we fell into a routine. I bought dog food with the little money I had left and took it for short walks. Each day, the dog seemed to grow stronger, its tail wagging a bit more, its eyes brightening. I named it Buddy. Simple, but it felt right. Buddy wasn't just a dog. He became my reason to wake up in the morning, my companion in the quiet evenings. Taking care of him gave me a purpose, and in return, he gave me something I hadn't realized I was missing: unconditional love. One day, as I was brushing Buddy's coat, I noticed something strange. My apartment no longer felt as empty. The air felt lighter, and I caught myself smiling for no reason. Buddy had filled the space in my home and my heart. Walking him every day forced me out of the house, out of my comfort zone. I started talking to people at the park, other dog owners, joggers, strangers who stopped to pet Buddy. Slowly, those small conversations turned into something more. I began to feel less alone, but the biggest change was inside me. Taking care of Buddy made me see that I was capable of love, of responsibility, of showing up for someone, even if that someone walked on 4 legs. And as I cared for him, I started caring for myself too. I updated my resume, applied for jobs, and even started cooking proper meals again. One morning, as Buddy and I sat by the window, watching the sunrise, I realized something profound. I had saved Buddy, but he had saved me too. He had pulled me out of the darkness I was drowning in, showing me that life still had meaning, that I still had value. Months later, life started looking up. I got a job at a local animal shelter. It felt like the perfect fit. I wanted to give back, to help other animals like Buddy find their own happy endings. And every time I looked at Buddy, wagging his tail by my side, I remembered how far we'd both come. Sometimes, saving someone else is the best way to save yourself. Buddy taught me that. He reminded me that even in the darkest times, a little love and kindness can light the way forward. And for that, I'll always be grateful.